Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kaelaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a series between some EG members here. This was one of the ESL best of threes and on the national ESL over there in America, so this is going to be quite an interesting series indeed. We do have EGAxslav going to be spawning here as the blue Protoss up in the north position, whilst we have the British powerhouse EGDeMusliM, the Devil Terran as they proclaimed over in Germany. It's going to be spawning down here as the red Terran, and so this could be a very interesting match. We are on ESL GSL Terminus SE or something like that, so this could be very interesting indeed. And I've got to say, going straight into this game, it really feels to me like deMusliM is the favourite. His TVP is so tip-top when it comes to the foreign scene, and yes, it is the SE as is signified by those rocks over there. A little bit dark actually on this recording, but it doesn't matter too much. But straight away we do see deMusliM looking to wall in, and this is a very, very neat little tactic that you can use as Terran, just denying the Protoss as much scouting as possible. Meanwhile though, we do have EGAxslav, as I said before, going to be spawning here as the north position, and EGAxslav I feel is a bit of an underrated Protoss. Certainly a player that is not deemed by the general consensus as one of the tip-top EG players. You see your Pumas, your Idras and your deMuslims all the way up there, but people really overlook EGAxslav, which I think is a big mistake. EGAxslav is a very, very strong Protoss, can certainly pull out games when he needs to, and we'll have to see how he can square up to deMusliM here. So deMusliM from the get-go wanting to complete that as quickly as possible, just in case that was kind of close spawning positions, and EGAxslav would have been able to slip in there if that hadn't been done. Thankfully for deMusliM though, it is not close positions and he doesn't really have to deal with that. And now Probe and SCV do indeed bump into one another, and notable right now is that deMusliM has not taken any gases. Very pivotal at this point. I really would imagine we'll see a 1 barracks expand out of deMusliM at this point. He is saving up a lot of minerals here. Meanwhile though, back in the base of EGAxslav, he's just going to be going for a very standard build. A little bit of lag there, sorry. But EGAxslav, I think we may see a 1 gate expand from him. It's very, very common to see that kind of play from a Protoss player, but at the same time it can be so risky, especially if you don't know what is going on in the gases of your Terran opponent. But as you can see, he is going to be going for that 1 gate expand. The Probe was killed off by these 2 Marines here, so he's not going to know what is going on. If we just go to the vision of EGAxslav at this point, he doesn't know that this base is going down, so he may play very, very cautiously at this point. And wow, deMusliM actually going for a little bit of a gas steal here. Nice little play there, and that can really regulate the Protoss in what he wants to do. A lot of the times the Protoss does want to go for a 3 gate expand with heavy sentries, and that just limits the ability to be able to do that. It even limits to a certain degree the ability to be able to go for that Robotech. So I don't know what we'll see from him at this point, but if deMuslim's allowed to get this up so quickly, then he's going to be in a fantastic position in order to be able to kind of step ahead of the game. So meanwhile, we do have EGAxslav just producing quite a few units here at this point, going to be taking out that Vespene Geyser. And with that taken out, he's going to be able to secure that as quickly as he wants to, and I think we will see, yes, there we go, we do have that kind of 1 gate expand, so it's the right choice, but in essence it's sort of a risky choice from the Protoss in this position. It's very, very likely that he could have been punished for that had deMusliM been going for anything else, but as you can see now, EGAxslav does see that the 2 bunkers are down in the front of the base. He's going to imagine that there is an expansion behind this, and behind that, getting that Nexus is not too bad an idea at all. So he's not, there we go, he's going to be mining that straight away, and at this point, EGAxslav has a wealth of options to go for. In my opinion, he would be very, very safe going for Robo. There we go, we do see that going down, and that's just a fantastic option to go for, because behind this you really don't know what a Terran's going for. As you can see, when EGAxslav did scout the front here, all he saw was a few bunkers and Marines, and behind that you've got to be thinking, where is the Terran spending his gas? Right now he is going to be spending it in the tech lab and the factory. Where is that factory? There it is. So he could be taking up to Banshees behind this, going for even Blue Flame Hellions, or even siege tanks, whatever he wants to do at this point. And as EGAxslav, you've got to be very, very wary of that position. You've got to understand that that gas is being spent elsewhere, and you've got to take the precautions to be able to deal with that, and the Robo is a fantastic way of dealing with that. That being said, though, we do have Stim on the way for EGDeMusliM. It looks like he may go for what looks like a little bit of a bio push at this point, really committing to a few barracks here, and he's going to be in a fantastic position to do that, placing that supply depot in a fantastic position in order to be able to ward off any kind of leg pokes that do come from here. Keeping an eye on those rocks can be pivotal on this map, and you know, it just comes down to a map awareness in general. And we do have the first observer coming out here for EGAxslav, so he's going to be able to scout the entirety of the base of EGDeMusliM, depending on whether or not EGDeMusliM actually spots that and goes for the kind of scan kill. But this one stalker in the front is a great use. You're just keeping an eye on the front of the Terran's base, making sure he's not going to be pushing out anytime soon. And we do have a starport going down for EGDeMusliM as well. So, you know, EGDeMuslim's just got a wealth of options he can go from here. And you see EGDeMusliM a lot going for those kind of drop plays, multi-pronged harasses, etc. And he is so good at keeping the aggression on. And that's something that EGAxslav really needs to keep on top of if it does get to that point. So at this point we do see that the Robo facility is a little bit inactive here. Going for that Twilight Council, going to be getting a Forge as well. Very important to keep your upgrades going against the Terran. And at the same time though, EGDeMusliM is not actually going for any upgrades yet. So if EGAxslav can pull ahead in the upgrade game, then he could be in a fantastic position. But ooh, EGAxslav here going to be going for a quick third. Doesn't really have that many units out at this point, and doesn't really know what's going on in the base of EGDeMusliM. Let's just check his vision there. Actually, he knows a great deal of what is going on in this base. Even sees that that third is being taken here. So he's going to know exactly what is going on. And, you know, getting that third up at this point is a slight risk. Had EGDeMusliM gone for that kind of little low-tech bio push, but ultimately I think he's going to be able to secure it just fine. But the big thing is now he needs to keep an eye on these rocks, and indeed he is with this pylon, so great use of that. And ooh, just going to be using this this factory here to do a little bit of scouting. But EGDeMusliM here, just such a trademark little push here. 2 medevacs out, going to be able to put on a little bit of pressure. And this is really strong against this composition right now. We do have Twilight Archives on the way, Templar Archives on the way even, and a Stargate as well. So he could be going for Phoenix here. We do see a lot of use of Phoenix nowadays in this matchup. And, you know, we see that from a Liquid Hero and people like that. Stimming a Lone Marine, going to be looking up into the base here. Combat shell, concussive shells on the way as well. May want to wait for that so that he can force the Protoss not to retreat in the slightest, and we'll have to see what does go on. A Lone Marine does get down here, able to pick off a Lone Probe, does see a few more gateways on the way, armor on the way now for the Protoss as well, and another, oh wow, we actually have another Observer on the way. You want to get a lot of those Observers out in order to be able to keep your eyes on the map completely, and a scan does drop and sees the Phoenix now, so EGDeMusliM is going to know everything that is going on in this base, even sees the Forge researching, so he's going to know that he needs to keep up with those upgrades as well. And indeed he is, with that 1-1 on the way, and actually going to just fall back ever so slightly at this point. He realizes that this is a bit of a tight engagement to move into, and now he knows all the composition of the Protoss army here, and going to be going for that Ghost Academy in the background. And EMP is just so good against Protoss in general. Going to be fantastic to be able to just whittle down the energy. And the big thing for EGAxslav here is whether he can get those connected feedbacks on the way, and whether he can kind of spread his sentries. And ooh, this could be a bit of a dodgy choice here. Going for Archons against EMP can be very dodgy indeed. Those Phoenix is going to be moving out as well, trying to probably pick off a few SCVs here and there, but it looks like EGDeMusliM is going to be trying to secure another base, so it really is going to be whether EGAxslav can kind of kill enough sentries here in order to build SCVs in order to be able to deal with this. But good stim there, going to be trying to take out as many of these Phoenix as possible. Does lose one, really doesn't do as much damage as he would like to. That lone Phoenix did not really pay for itself at all. These Marauders, though, are ever so slightly stranded out in the open, and actually getting a good engagement off on those medevacs, just doing a little bit of damage there and forcing quite a lot of stim. And those medevacs are going to have to waste quite a bit of energy. But in fact, you know, I mean, the fact that medevacs do equate to 9 health per second on these Marines means a lot of healing very quickly. Stimming once again, going to be trying to take out a few of these Marines, and does indeed. 4 Phoenix are able to take out 4 Marines pretty decisively, but now going to have to be forced to retreat as the Marines and Ghosts do come along, and they do a significant amount of damage to this force in general. Now more Phoenix on the way for EGAxslav. He's doing a good job of keeping EGDeMusliM on his toes here ever so slightly. Favouring supply, in fact, and EGAxslav here. Not really keeping up with his macro ever so slightly. Has a lot of money here in order to be able to spend. Really needs some extra war pins. Get some chrono boosts on those gateways. No reason not to. Get that robotics facility a little bit more active. And then he can be on a really good position here. Oh, but Cloak on the way now for EGDeMusliM. He could do a significant amount of damage with these ghosts given the opportunity. And, you know, if he lands those money EMPs on this force, he's going to be in a fantastic position. Do these zealots have charge yet? They do indeed, so that's going to be fantastic. And oh, actually, very good scouting here by EGAxslav. Going to be able to deny this base here for from EGDeMusliM. So, you know, EGAxslav keeping really nice on top of the attacks of EGDeMusliM, but you know, EGDeMusliM at the same time has a very, very scary army right here, and he did see those ghosts, so he's really going to have to spread these units out. A mothership on the way. What on earth is going on? Where is that coming? There it is, just there. But at the same time, I'm really not sure if he can deal with this. This is a very scary push, even throwing photon cannons to now. Big stim, big EMPs land on that Archon. The Archon gets shredded, and now EGAxslav is in a huge, huge problem. He's going to be decimated absolutely by these Marine Marauder, Medevac, and Ghost composition, and that is going to be it by the looks of things. EGDeMusliM doing a lot of damage here, even underpowering the Colossus going to be made in this robotics facility. And wow, the mothership never got out. I'm really not sure where the mothership was coming from here. Interesting choice of unit composition by EGAxslav, but really not keeping on top of the unit compositions that he needed. And EGDeMusliM just powering his way through here, taking out the natural, and there's the GG. And that is going to be it for game 1, ladies and gents. So mothership 80%. So that is going to be it, as I said before. So we are going to be moving on to game 2, ladies and gents, very, very soon. Join me and we will see if EGAxslav can tie up the series.